Hello dear learner, welcome back to the Learner's Deck. Today, we are going to explore a beautiful poem that turns something very simple into something magical. Let us dive into Canvas of Soil by Maya Anthony. A garden may look ordinary at first glance, but this poem helps us see it in a completely different way. It shows us how soil, seeds, and flowers come together to create something as beautiful as a painting. A garden is not just a place, it is a masterpiece in progress. Every seed is a color, every flower a brushstroke, and every gardener an artist. The poet beautifully describes a garden as a work of art. The poet says that what we usually see as ordinary soil is actually full of life, color, and dreams. Now, let us look into the poem. Let us discuss the poem line by line. In the first stanza, the poet says, "Palette of earth, rich and deep, where dreams of gardeners seep." The poet says the earth is like a palette. A palette generally means a board on which a painter mixes colors. Here in the poem, the palette is compared to the soil, which is rich and full of possibilities. The poet also says that gardeners put their dreams into the soil, and their hopes and efforts slowly seep into the earth. Brushstrokes of seeds, planted true, awaiting spring's vibrant hue. The poet beautifully compares seeds to brushstrokes. Just like an artist paints carefully, gardeners plant seeds with care and precision. Hue generally means color. Here it refers to the bright and lively colors that flowers will show when they bloom in spring. In the second stanza, the poet says, "Blossoms bloom a painted sight, dancing in the morning light." The poet describes flowers blooming like a beautiful painting, creating a pleasing and colorful view. The poet says that the flowers seem to dance in the sunlight, making the garden feel lively and joyful. Shades of green, red, and blue. Nature's artwork ever new. The poet shows the variety of colors in the garden, making it vibrant and attractive. The poet says that nature keeps creating fresh and new beauty again and again. In the third stanza, the poet says, "Each plot a canvas wide, where art and life coincide." A canvas generally means the cloth on which a painter paints. Here in the poem, the canvas is compared to the garden land, where plants grow and create beauty. The poet says that in a garden, art and real life come together beautifully. In the hands of those who till, gardens become paintings still. The poet describes gardeners as artists who work on and shape the soil with care. Finally, the poet says gardens turn into calm and beautiful paintings like a completed piece of art. The poem beautifully shows that with patience, effort, and love, even simple soil can turn into a masterpiece. It reminds us to appreciate nature and the hard work of gardeners. A garden is not just grown, it is created. And every gardener is truly an artist. Before we conclude the lesson, let us now look into the literary devices used in the poem. 1. Imagery. The poet uses vivid descriptions like shades of green, red, and blue, and blossoms bloom to help us clearly imagine the colorful garden. 2. Metaphor. The poet uses comparisons like palette of earth and canvas wide to show that the garden is like a painting. 3. Personification. In Dancing in the Morning Light, the flowers are given human qualities, making the scene lively. 4. Alliteration. In Blossoms Bloom, the repetition of the B sound creates a musical effect. 5. Rhyme scheme. The poem follows an AEBB pattern, giving it a rhythmic and smooth flow. The tone of the poem is appreciative and admiring, as the poet values nature and creativity. The mood created is peaceful, fresh, and inspiring, making the reader feel calm and happy.
If you found this explanation helpful, do support the channel by subscribing. It really motivates me to create more such lessons for you. And if you have any doubts, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll be happy to help.